Hey everyone, welcome to a new video. Today is a really special announcement. This is the first day where AI Artemis comes to life. Artemis is the AI tool that I've been showing in the past few videos where I've been essentially automating Etsy to create different Etsy products. More specifically, wall art type products that are printable products that consumers can purchase digital files of and go ahead and print them on their own time. The reason why I love this system is because I've always been focused for about the past year on automation, figuring out how I can make machines make me money. And I primarily created this software for myself and for other people who may have the intention of growing on Etsy. But like I said, my focus was to grow on Etsy without doing really any kind of manual labor and stepping away from hiring people and paying people. Now that AI is capable of behaving like a human being and thinking better than a human being can ever think, it's time to fully use AI and take advantage of it. And creating systems like this is exactly what allows me to do so. So primarily, I created Artemis for myself. Today I'm going to show you what Artemis is capable of and how, more importantly, that it can be used. AI Artemis allows you to create single asset products or bulk order products. I have been using the bulk order each and every time, and the reason why is because I just think customers get a bigger bang for their buck. And what happens is I get to select different mockups, and these different mockups are what's presented to consumers when they actually see these listings on Etsy. Now, we're not selling the mockups, but what we're selling is the graphics that go inside these mockups. Let me show you what I mean. The first step is for any user to go ahead and go to their mockup templates here and select their favorite mockups. In my case, I'll go ahead and select a few. So let's say I select this luxury bathroom mockup. Let's say I select this botanical sunroom mockup. Let's say I select this one, this one, this one, and this one. These are examples of 6 different mockups I've selected. Once I've selected my example of my 6 favorite mockups, I'll go ahead and select save. And what I'm doing is I'm saving to Artemis the mockups that I want to use for every Etsy listing. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to the HD Atomizer. Now the HD Atomizer, all it does, and you guys may know about this if you've seen my past few videos, all it does is allow you to access a database of high quality photography based images. So I'll click search here, and then I'll go ahead and perform a search for the keyword nature. And when I perform that search, there's a bunch of different images that are going to come up. And let's say I want to sell these images. People out there are going to be willing to pay for something like this. So I'll pick a few of these images. I'll pick this one, for example. I'll pick this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. And once again, I'm not picking them with any kind of real system or opinion here. I'm just simply picking random images for this tutorial or for this video. So once I pick a certain number of images, I'm going to go click build listing. I'm going to click generate with AI, and what I'm doing is I'm generating my metadata, meaning my title, my description, my tags, and this is the information that consumers are going to be able to find my listings on Etsy with. And I'm going to click generate a draft listing. And what this is going to do is it's basically going to compile all of this, it's going to save it, and it's going to compile these images within these mockups to be able to present to customers what they're actually getting. So customers on Etsy buy a whole host of different products. Sometimes those products are digital files. And once again, I have created thousands of digital files on image generators like Midjourney, like Leonardo AI. Those are just a few examples of different. And now that our listing is complete, let's go ahead and click on the Etsy listings here to take a look. So we can see that the listing is complete. And I notice here on the second image, this flower image kind of repeats itself twice here. So I'm going to just edit this. So I'm going to hit the little edit button, and I'm going to select how many images are displayed in this mockup, which is 1. And then I'm going to pick one of these images to replace it. I think this one is pretty nice. I just want to make sure that, well, it's already displayed, so I'll pick something else. Let's go ahead and scroll down, and I'm going to select this right here. And now it's time to pick a different image. I'll pick something simple. Let's pick this one, for example, and I'll hit apply and save. And once I hit apply and save, I'll go ahead and refresh the page here, and it should have that new display within it. And there it is. That's that new display. So now that we have our listing created, we need a brochure. And our brochure just basically tells people what the listing is, which in this case, it's informing customers that it's a digital product. So I'll go over here to download brochure, and all I'm going to do is select what brochure that I want. Now the text is all the same, doesn't matter which one I click. It's just a style. I like this green one. I'll stick to this green one for now. I'll click save and activate style, and now this brochure style should be added to every single listing we have. If you notice here, there's no error that mentions the brochure, and in fact, if we scroll down into the files, the image is right there. So everything's pretty much perfect. Now it's time to deploy this listing to Etsy. Now, for future reference, I was using something called, once again, the HD Atomizer. If you were watching the beginning of this video, you already know that. But if you weren't, you can also upload your own images. So if I wanted to create listings with my own images, I could do the same thing here. I can upload those images and create those listings quite easily in just a matter of a few clicks, the same way I created them on the HD Atomizer. But for now, let's go ahead and head over to our Chrome extension. Let's go ahead and hit download, and then we're going to go ahead and generate a token here. This token is going to allow us to log in to that very Chrome extension. Now we're going to follow the instructions here, and we're going to go ahead and install that Chrome extension file to our browser, and that's going to automate the uploading process for us. Great. So we installed the listing, the Chrome extension now into our browser, and you can see here we have the listing. Let's go ahead and copy this extension token and paste it within this extension. We'll click connect extension, and what we're going to see is we're going to see a perfect example of the actual listing here. This is the listing that had those 20 nature photos, and we're charging $4.99 for it, and everything is added here for us. Well, now we have to actually go to Etsy and create a draft listing, and from that draft listing, it will be used and saved here as an ID, and then the tool will go ahead and copy that style over and over and over for every single listing in the future. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's head over to Etsy now. You can see here I have a few different listings that I created in the past, but for now, we're going to go ahead and click add a new listing, and I'm going to show you how this works. So we can leave the photos empty. We can leave the category. We're going to make sure it says digital prints. We're going to go ahead and select the digital files category here in reference to the type of product. We're going to mention that it was made from 2020 to 2026, and then we're just going to go ahead and scroll down, and we should be pretty much good on this. And let's go ahead and hit save as a draft, and it will tell us any kind of issue of things that we're missing. So we're going to mention here that we made it ourselves. We're going to mention that it is a finished product and it was made with an AI generator. And then what we're missing is our title, our quantity, our price. For our price here, it doesn't matter what we put. Even our quantity, it doesn't matter because the tool will go ahead and automate this for us. So we could just put $1 here, for example, quantity of 999. Once again, this dollar doesn't matter. It's not going to be saved for our future listings. This is just an example. And for the title, I'll call this a test draft. And once again, we're not going to be using this exact listing because the AI is just going to take this listing and essentially copy it over and use its own data and input that in. So I'll go ahead and click save as a draft here. And once this is saved as a draft, I'll go ahead and refresh this page. And now that it's refreshed, we're going to eventually see the draft listing somewhere here. It just takes a minute sometimes to have that listing created. We can see it's created. I'll go ahead and click on that. And then in my browser, into our domain name and around the browser on Etsy, there is the identification. And my identification here, I'm just copying it and pasting it. If you're not sure where to find your identification, just follow these instructions here. And I'll go ahead and paste mine. I'll hit save, and finally it's saved. So that whenever we have a listing that we want to essentially create from our listing list, all we have to do is have this identification saved, and it will use that to create the listing properly. So for me now, all I have to do is click on this, and I have to click copy and fill. And I could do this on any page. So here I'm on my own page for the tool that I have, Artemis. I can use this. As long as this is saved, I don't even have to be in Etsy to make this happen. I'll just go ahead and click this. I'll go ahead and click copy and fill. And that will go ahead and open up Etsy, and it will start importing all the data for that listing. And you can see here, it's actually adding it now. Now I'm moving my mouse around, but you can see it's actually doing all the adding from the text, the titles, the description. And you can see here it's adding our photos for us. And I'll actually go ahead and scroll up, and it shows here that all the photos were injected. And if we actually scroll down here, this is our digital file, and the digital file is exactly where our customers are going to be able to access our images. Now, the nice thing about this digital file is when I go ahead and click download, you'll be able to see that this file shows all the different URLs of where the files are located, but it also has a password for these images. So if the customer ever wants to download an image, all they have to do is copy a link, go ahead and let's head over to an incognito tab, and then type in the password that they were given from that document. So in this case, we'll go ahead and copy that password, and we'll paste the password here just to test. We'll hit download file, and then we have the ability to download the actual file. We'll hit save. We'll open up the file, and you can see here, this is the actual file that they can download. So let's head back to our AI Artemis application. Let's go ahead and go to my images. Let's upload some of our own custom images to make a test listing, a manual test listing. So we'll go ahead and upload here. We'll find some images. These are some of the images I used in my other test video. I'll go ahead and upload them. You can see how they look. I'll go ahead and click upload. All of these will individually upload. Every single image that is uploaded is scanned and identified. And based on that identification, it helps later down the road to have, as best as possible, accurate titles, description, and tags for future image creation and listing creation, of course. Now that these images are created, let's go ahead and head over to Generate Digital Files. Let's create a bulk bundle. Click Next here. Let's go ahead and select some of our mockups. In your case, some of these mockups may have already been selected, and it's also important to select some of your favorites, as we spoke about earlier. Now that I have the mockup selected, let's just click on some basic images here for our presentation. I'll click on this image, this one, this one, this one. Let's click on one more. Let's click on this one. Let's click Use. And since these images are all mixed different kinds, I'm not going to write any image description here. I'm just going to use whatever the AI gives me just as a reference for exactly what we're doing in this case. And here I'll click autofill with AI. I'll hit generate. And since everything is generating, once again, these are a mix of all kinds of different images. We can go ahead and see how they would look in some of the mockups. And to be honest, they do look very nice. This one, it's all perfectly my style. It does look good. The draft listing, it is time to save it because we did create all the information here. Great, our draft listing is saved. I'll go ahead and head over to our Etsy listings, and there our Etsy listing is. And once again, if we ever want to change anything, we absolutely can do so. Notice how, for example, this image is cut off, the face of the turtle. We can always move that, right? We can select slot 4. We can select the picture of the turtle here, and then we can move it to the left-hand side. So notice how it says X 25%. We can move it even more. We can move it even further. And then what we could do is select the other images in these slots if we wish. So for example, slot 1, we had the wolf. Slot 2, let's just assume we never wanted to change anything. Slot 2, we had the bunny. Slot 3, let's go ahead and change it up. Let's pick this trees here, and then let's hit apply and save. And remember, this was the actual mockup. Let's go ahead and click off, then click refresh. Then let's click on the listing again. If we go back here, you can see here it's fully edited. Okay, now obviously I moved it all the way to the left. It should have been moved to the right, but you get the point. It works perfectly fine. We changed the positioning of things, but that's essentially how it works. Now, for the moment of truth, we also, by the way, I forgot to mention, the brochure is already included there, and the image to show all of what the customer is downloading is in existence there as well. And if we want to verify, is this listing found in our Chrome extension? The answer is absolutely, and there it is right here. So that's essentially how the tool works. Over time, we're going to have more and more benefits to this tool, more and more features, more and more additions to this tool, and for it to work as flawlessly as possible. But something that I find is that the tool works better when the images are high quality and also when the mockups are high quality. And those two elements are one of the most important things, because it's not just a matter of quantity, it's not a matter of scale, it's a matter of quality along with the scale. And thankfully, because we're using these tools, we're using these AI systems, we have the ability to bring forth to market the best quality stuff. So you can see here what I'm working with, and this is what I'm going to be personally focusing on to bring to customers on Etsy the very best in order for me to make more passive income on these websites. If you guys want to go ahead and join me, I'll leave a link in the description to this software tool, and you could go ahead and use it yourself. I'll talk to you later. Thank you for watching, and peace out. Bye.